In our last class, we learnt about the charged particle in a uniform electric field. So, in this class, we are going to learn new topic, that is energy acquired by the charged particle when it is kept in the uniform electric field. So, let's suppose you have the electric field. So, uniform electric field E. So, in this field, what we are doing is we are keeping a charged particle. So, here is the charged particle Q. So, this Q is kept in an uniform electric field. So, this particle will also get accelerated in this direction, because this field applies force on the charge Q. Because of that, the charge Q moves in the direction of the electric field. So, the field produces an energy to the charged particle, or this field gives the energy to the charged particle to move with an even more greater acceleration than it does without the electric field. So, this can be written as Q. So, now force on this particle can be written as what? F is equals to QE. And we know that F is equals to MA. So, if I equate these two equations, then what I can write? MA is equals to QE. A is equals to QE divided by M. So, this is the acceleration of the particle. So, now we need to know, or we need to understand, what is the work done by force in displacing this charged particle through a small distance dl. So, that means we have to find how much work has to be done by the force on this charge just to displace this charge by a distance of dl. So, we know that work done is equals to force into displacement. So, this is the work done formula, and this work done is independent of the path. Work done is dependent on initial and final positions, but it is independent of path that is traced by the charged particle. So, that means, so if there is a charge here, so this charge has to go to this point, that this charge can go to this point by this direction, or this can also go by this direction, or from this direction, or this can also take this path. So, all this path can be taken by the charge to move from this point to this point, but work done is dependent on only the initial and the final position. So, it is not dependent on the path that is traced by the charged particle. So, with respect to this diagram, we can write dW is equal to F dot dl. So, dl here means the small displacement that is occurred by the charged particle when it is experienced by the force. So, dW is equals to F dot dl. So, we know the F can be written as MA. So, let us substitute dW is equals to MA dot dl. So, I have just substituted what is F in terms of mass and acceleration. So, now again we need to eliminate D. So, to do that, what we have to do? We have to integrate the equation. So, let us call this as equation 1. So, let us integrate equation 1. So, how do we integrate? Integration of dW is equals to integration of MA dl. So I can write this equation as integration of dw is equals to ma integration of dl. So we can write A is what? Rate of change of velocity with respect to time. And we know that, so velocity is rate of change of displacement with respect to time. But here the displacement we are taken as L. So I can write V is equals to dl by dt. So what I have done, I have just written R in terms of L. So velocity is rate of change of displacement with respect to time. So I can write V is equals to dl by dt. I can also write dl is equals to V dt. So dl is equals to V dt. So now let us call this as equation number 2. So I'll write this equation again. So dw, integration of dw is equals to m integration of a dl. So we know that dl is equals to v dt, a is equals to dv by dt. Substitute these two equations here. So integration of dw is equals to m as it is, so it is a constant term. So integration of a dv by dt, dv divided by dt, and you have dl as v dt. So integration of dw is equals to m dv by dt multiplication v dt. So this is the equation. So now let us integrate this part from point 1 to point 2. So let's suppose the charged particle has started from point 1 and ended at point 2. So here you have the initial and final positions. So now let us integrate from 1 to 2. So integration of dw from 1 to 2. So integration of dw will give what? Work done w. So m. So you have integration of 1 to 2 dv by dt v dt. So here dt will get cancelled. What remains is v dv. So now I can write this as m. So integration of v will be v square by 2, and the limits are from 1 to 2. So I can write half m. So let us substitute the limits. So final limit minus initial limit. So v2 square minus v1 square. So this is what we got from the integration. Now this v2 by v1 are the final velocity and initial velocity. So v1 and v2 are initial and final velocities of the particle when it is kept in a electric field. So this is the equation. So again we can write work done in terms of potential. So we know that work done is equals to Q into V. So V is potential. So now let us equate these two equations. So which was the last equation? So last equation was equation number 2. Let us call this as equation number 3 and this as equation number 4. So equate equation 3 and 4. So what we will get? Half m v2 square minus v1 square is equals to Q into potential. So let me write this in a bold way such that you can differentiate. So here if particle starts from rest and the initial velocity v1 will be equals to 0 and v2 will be v. So we are taking a consideration that the particle is starting from 0. So that means initial velocity, that is v2, is equals to v. So v2 is final velocity is v, and initial velocity, that is v1, is equals to 0. So this is when the particle is starting from the rest. So now let us substitute these two in the above equation. So what we will get? Half m v square minus 0 square is equals to q into v. So this goes off. What remains is half m v square is equals to qv. So this is the equation. Now I need the velocity of the particle. So I can write v square is equals to qv divided by m multiplied by 2. So I can write v as v is equals to root over 2qv divided by m. So this is the velocity of the particle. So in last class we got v as qe by m into t. So let us call this as equation number 5 and this as equation number 6. So squaring equation number 6, we get, so v square is equals to q square e square t square divided by m square. So this equation we understood in the last class, so I have written this equation directly. So in last class we got velocity of a particle which is kept in a uniform electric field as qe by m into t. So initial velocity we took as 0 in this case as well. So from that we can write v is equals to qe by m into t. So if you square this equation, that is equation number 6, then you get v square is equals to q square e square t square divided by m square. Now we know that kinetic energy is half mv square. So here we have the velocity of the particle. So if I substitute this in the kinetic energy equation, then I get ke is equals to half q square e square by m into t square. So let us substitute that. So we got v square is equals to q square e square by m square into t square. So we know that kinetic energy is equals to half mv square. So here m is mass of the particle, v is velocity of the particle. So let us substitute this here. So then I get half m v square is what? Q square e square by m square multiplied by t square. So this is the equation. Now let us cancel the terms which are cancelable. So here m square is there, m is there, and the rest are not cancelable. So ke is equals to half q square e square divided by m t square. So I can also write this as ke is equals to half m QET whole square. So this is the kinetic energy of the particle when it is kept in the uniform electric field. So now if I substitute QE by 2mt square as R, then we get kinetic energy is equals to QER. So substitute QE by 2m T square as R. So this you have to substitute in this equation. So this equation is 7th equation. So substitute this in 7th equation. So then we get kinetic energy is equals to, so here you half went and gone, so there is Q square E square. So if I take 1Q 1E, then what will be left? So QE will be left, and this T square, so here is again T square. So I can write kinetic energy as QER. So R is what? R is just a constant that we have taken here. So this is the expression for energy that is acquired by the charge when it is moving in an electric field. So this much amount of kinetic energy will be acquired by the charged particle. So when you keep that charge in the uniform electric field. So if the charge is at rest, then there will be the potential energy on the charge. Since we are keeping this charge in the uniform electric field, so this field will have the energy. So that energy will drag the charge in the direction of the electric field such that this charge will gain the energy. So that energy is equal to QER. So if this charge is kept in an electric field, then this charge will get accelerated. That means the energy of the charge increases and this charge moves faster in comparison to the charge when it is kept in the when it is not kept in the electric field. So this is the expression for the energy acquired by the charge moving in the electric field. This is the expression for the energy that is acquired by the charged particle when it is kept in a uniform electric field or when it is moving in an electric field. So if this charge moves in an electric field, then the charge will acquire energy of QER. So next concept, hope this concept is clear to you all. So the next concept which you have is the electron volt. So electron volt. So we write work done as EV. So EV should be converted to joules because the SI unit of work done is joule. So let us see how do we convert this EV into joules. So if you have the charge Q, so then this charge particle can be taken as the electron. So whichever the charged particle which you are using in this chapter, so we take it as an electron. So that means Q is equals to E. So this is electron. So this is electron. So now the energy acquired by the electron can be written as W is equals to QV. So Q into V. So Q, what I have written it as E. So EV. So you have W is equals to EV. So V is electric potential, Q is charge. So now you have W is equals to EV. If the V is 1 volt and we know E is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. So E has got the charge of 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. So E is equals to 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. So you have to keep this values in your mind. So you have to memorize a few values in physics. So this values will come in handy when you try to solve the problem. So sometimes they give the value of E, so sometimes they don't give the value of E. So if you know, then you can directly write it down. E is equals to 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. So if this is E and if you write V as 1 volt, then W will be what? W is equals to EV. So now let us multiply 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 into 1. So that gives W is equals to 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. So this is 1 EV. So 1 EV, or let this be W itself, and this is in joule. So if you write 1 EV, then you again get same value, 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 joules. So 1 EV is equals to 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 joules. So that means 1 electron volt. So this is called as 1 electron volt of energy can be defined as energy acquired by an electron when it is accelerated through a potential difference of 1 volt. So 1 EV means energy that is acquired by the charged particle or by the electron when it is accelerated through the potential difference of 1 volt. So hence 1 electron volt. So this can be read as electron volt. 1 electron volt of energy can be defined as the energy acquired by an electron when it is accelerated through a potential difference of 1 volt. So this is what the electron volt is. So 1 electron volt of energy can be defined as the energy that is acquired by an electron when it is accelerated through a potential difference of 1 volt. So we learned what is electron volt and what is the energy that is acquired by the charged particle when it is kept in an electric field. To find the energy acquired, so here is the diagram. So in this, the charged particle is moving from position 1 to position 2 when it is kept in the electric field. So at that time, so we can write F is equals to QE or F is equals to MA. So then that means E can be written as QE by M. Now we know that dW is equals to F dot dl. So if you integrate this term by considering A as dV by dt and L as v dt, then we get the integration of dW as m dV by dt dot v dt. So W can be written as m v square by 2 and the limits are from 1 to 2. So after integration you get work done as half m v2 square minus v1 square. So we also know that W is equals to QV. So if you equate these two equations, then you get V square as 2QV by M. So from this we can write V is equals to root over 2QV by M. So in our last class we learned the velocity of the particle in an uniform electric field. So at that time we got V is equals to QE by M multiplied by T, and if you take square of this equation, then you get V square is equals to Q square E square T square by M square. So with that we can find the energy that is acquired by the particle. So here basically the energy that is acquired will be kinetic energy, because the charged particle will move when it is kept in the electric field. So that won't be as static. So the charged particle will not be in a stationary, but this charged particle will move. So when it will be kept in the electric field, so this field will give energy to the particle to move with a even more greater energy. So to calculate that energy, we are using the formula of the kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is half mv square. So if you substitute the v square value, so v square is q square e square by m square into t square, then you get final equation as half 2m QET whole square. So if you know all the terms in this, so you can use directly this equation to solve the problems, or if you are comfortable in using, or by if you are comfortable by substituting QE by 2mt square as R, then you can use this expression while solving the problems. So this is the expression for the energy that is acquired by the charged particle when it is moving in an electric field. So here is the electron volt concept. Hope this concept is clear to you all. So in this unit we have 2 more concepts to learn. So then after that we can wind up the chapter. So next concept which you have is motion of a charged particle in a uniform transverse electric field. So there is a derivation in this concept, and that derivation is quite a long derivation. So let us learn this derivation in our next class, because I cannot complete this in this lecture. So in that next class we'll also learn the principle of cathode ray oscilloscope, and there's another topic that is charged particle in a constant uniform magnetic field. So that is again a small concept compared to the motion of a charged particle in a uniform transverse electric field. So that again I will complete in the next lecture. So this is for today. Let us see in the tomorrow's class.